Uh, Good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope that last night you had, you slept well. Because I didn't. That's my low. My high is I got to see surprise. I want to talk about surprise for a minute, but I'll get to my act of kindness. My act of kindness was I helped my dad with a couple things yesterday. So, surprise was great. It's fun. I could have sworn I've seen them more than once this year, but no. Like, I looked at my 2026 bucket list to see if I had seen them, and I hadn't seen them yet. I mean, I would say that was the biggest surprise for me last night, no pun intended. But there was last night, which is why I didn't really sleep very well. So, I told you guys I was going to try and be a lot better about telling you guys about the dreams that I have. Because, maybe that would make for something entertainment. And you know what? I think I finally got one that's worth telling. And it is the most unsettling dream I think I've had in a long time. I wouldn't call this a nightmare, as I never felt like that existential dread of, like, that shocks you to wake you up. But man, this was crazy. So, and what's even crazier is the fact that pretty much everything I'm about to tell you took place in this area. Specifically in Consumer Square in Horseheads. Even more specifically at Sam's Club. Oh yeah, so bit of context. I was actually headed to Sam's Club from the direction of where the Arnott Mall is. If you don't know, at this one stoplight there's a four-way, and you have Consumer Square on one side, the direction of the mall on the other. You've got one direction coming from where I guess Barnes and Noble would be, and then you have where Target is. That four-way that some people watching this might know what I'm talking about. So I'm pretty sure I was leaving from a movie. Don't know what movie. I think that was why I was coming from that direction. And for whatever reason, and keep in mind, this takes place at night, which is kind of, and here's the thing, I want to say this took place at night, but in this particular instance, there was no light anywhere. Not from the street lights, not from any of the cars driving, not even from any of the surrounding buildings that would be open at this time. Everything looked like a black and white film from like a Twilight Zone almost. And at this point, I really should have known it was a dream, because even though you couldn't see like the street lights, let alone the stoplights, everybody was pretty cool about using the honor system in terms of, okay, this group of cars got to go in the direction they want to go. Now it's our turn. Now it's our turn. Like stuff like that, which is actually kind of nice. It's nice that people are keeping to the honor system here. I didn't think much of it. All I know was that I had to go to Sam's Club. And I get to Sam's Club, and I see a lot of people running and yelling, almost as if they were in a panic. There was also some people who were there just because, just going into Sam's Club, that's what I'm getting. Like, they couldn't grasp, like, either they didn't know what was going on or they didn't really care, but people were running away because, no kidding, aliens were approaching Sam's Club. Yes, space aliens. And I can actually tell you what they look like. Let's see. They were tall. They had very pale skin. They appeared to be human. I mean, here's the thing. They definitely have, like, human character. Like, when I say tall, I mean, like, I'm 6'4". These guys were, like, beyond, like, 7 feet tall. Like, probably 8 foot tall. And normally when, like, it's not like Victor Wembanyama, who is, like, really tall and kind of like lanky and kind of like a twig. Like, these guys actually had some slight girth in comparison to him. Not much, but still. And they were just walking slowly, and I saw they weren't bothering anybody, so I figured, you know what, I'll just run to Sam's Club, get whatever it was I was going to get. So the funny thing is, here's what's crazy. I remember what I got at Sam's Club in this stream, which was some dental floss and some toilet paper. That's what I got. Just the two things. Just those two things. And because everybody was in a panic there, like, everybody was, like, crowded, but the line was, like, sort of moving. And all of a sudden, I feel okay, you know when you're trying to get someone's attention, like, excuse me, sir, or ma'am, or if you absolutely have to, like, tap them on the shoulder to try and get their attention? One of the aliens actually grabbed, like, my neck kind of like this. They didn't tug it. It, like, grabbed like this. And I could feel how cold his hand was. And the alien politely asked me where I could find the fabric softener. What's funny is, I know where the fabric softener is in Sam's Club. I've been shopping there enough times for either myself and with my parents, so I know where a lot of stuff is. I pointed them in the direction of the fabric softener, which coincidentally was in the same direction as me getting the toilet paper I said I was going to get. And, that was it. And here's the thing, like, I mentioned earlier how everything outside looked as if it was, like, in a black and white film. Inside of Sam's Club looked just like normal. Like what you would see right now, kind of. Like, not black and white. Which was convenient because, it kind of helps if some of the labels are in color and you kind of need to read color, I guess. I don't know. But point is, Sam's Club was not in black and white. I got my 2 items that I needed to get. I immediately drove home. Well, well, I might like drove to see my mom and dad at their house. I mean, dude, I just saw aliens. I had to tell somebody. Like, I would tell my mom and dad, okay? And I told them exactly what happened. Even down to the point where, I said like the alien sort of like got my attention by like doing this. Like they grabbed like the neck part of my shirt, and they didn't tug at it. They just sort of grabbed it, you know. Here's the thing that was just unsettling. Like the black and white thing was really unsettling in this dream. Okay, well, I forgot to mention the aliens. Here's the thing: the aliens weren't wearing clothes, but they didn't have anything, down here either. Or, I'll be honest, I didn't want to look down there. I don't want. Actually, you know what? I can almost tell you, like, I was about as tall as one of their legs. No, actually, I think. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to rethink this. They weren't. Sorry, I'm not really good. I'm not good at perceiving how tall someone is or how much someone weighs by looking at them, if you couldn't tell. But at the top of my head was about just barely above the bottom of their leg, which would be about here. Then you're looking at like aliens that are like 10 feet tall, at least. And they were looking for fabric softener of all things. I didn't question what they were like. I just pointed them in the direction where the fabric softener was. That's all I did. And again, there are some people throughout the course of this dream that were obviously in a panic because it's aliens, oh my God. Some people were just there, shopping with their families. Actually, I remember this one family of four that was, they had like a little kid and like a baby in a stroller. That was actually kind of nice. That was kind of nice to see that. It was wholesome. I don't know why I would ever have a dream like this. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been sleeping with a dream catcher for a number of years now. And it's not working very well at this time. Because I've been having some crazy dreams, to be sure. Hardly any of them which I can remember. This one, though. Oh my God. Yeah. Again, I wouldn't call this a nightmare because nothing truly frightening happened. Nothing, jolted me out of the dream state that I was in. But, listen, people have always wondered, are we alone in the universe? Listen, I'll be the one to tell you we're not alone. There is no way we are the only sentient life in the universe. There's no way that's true. Someday I do believe we'll probably access the ability of, traveling light speed and beyond to, different galaxies and meeting new life. Or maybe said new life will come to us. And to them will be the aliens. That's possible. Yee. It's so crazy how that worked. Like, I don't know. I mean, until I was having that dream, I slept. Actually, here's the thing. I was in bed early. I didn't really fall asleep until like almost 11 o'clock. Like, here's how early in bed. It was like just after 9:15 when I was actually in bed. To be honest, I had to be up early today. Hence why it's. Anyway, no, it's literally 7:11 at this time in the recording. Actually, I should probably get going. There's somewhere I need to be in not even 2 hours from now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that obviously that dream wasn't real. I'm glad that, you know, everything's in color. That, from what I can see, I know for a fact I'm not colorblind. And you know what? I'm glad I got to share this with you, with all of you. I mean, I told you guys I was going to try and tell you about the dreams I have, and I think I have it. I think this will suffice for a good while until I'm able to do this again. Hope you like this video. If you did, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very Ellen. This video for you guys watching. Enjoy the day. Have a wonderful Sunday. And you know what? That reminds me. Last night I got to see surprise at Illegal Tap House, and no one's surprised. They were great. And remember, you guys want to talk to me. Anyways, back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.